So before we proceed with the stories, I'd like to take a moment to warn anyone who may be easily frightened. These are some of my experiences with the paranormal that I've encountered. I don't go looking for these experiences. This is just a handful of times I experienced something that was just out of the ordinary. Whether you choose to believe me or not is totally up to you. But either way, I hope you enjoy the stories I have to share. This next paranormal story is talking about my UFO experience. I've only had one UFO experience, but it's still very surreal to me because it wasn't just me who experienced it. It was somebody else that was there with me too. It was insane. So there was one time, me and my friend, we went out to a lake. It was just a random lake that we had found. We just sat there talking, you know, it was a beautiful place to be, just somewhere to be away from everything and just watch the sunset. So we're watching the sun go down, and as we're seeing the sun go down, we're just having our casual conversation, and me and him had just been staring out over the lake, you know. We weren't really looking at each other, we were just kind of like, you know, just lost in thought, just talking, and just looking at the view that was right in front of us. And I remember, while we were looking out, every now and then I was seeing, like, fish jump out of the water. Nothing too crazy, you know, that happens. And then I also was noticing that, you know, the stars were starting to appear. And the way I was looking at this lake, yes, there was trees, like, beyond the lake on the other side of it, but I could see, like, this where the sky was meeting with the tree line and the lake line, and so I could see some stars, you know, coming up on the edge of the scenery I was looking at. So I started seeing these different lights appear, and at one point there was this one light that was hovering over the lake, but I didn't think too much of it because I was just like, well, could be a star that I'm seeing, because, you know, I couldn't see anything behind it. It was just this light that was hanging over the lake. And I thought maybe it was farther away than it really was. And as we continue talking, we start noticing that a lot of fish are jumping out of the lake. They're just jumping and jumping and jumping. And then there was a whole bunch of fish just jumping out of the lake in this one spot where I could see that orb of light specifically that I thought was a little peculiar. But I, you know, wrote it off because I thought maybe it was a star or something from the view I could see, because it was, you know, at the edge of where the water and everything was. So yeah, all these fish start jumping out of the water, and then all of a sudden we start hearing all these dogs howl. So there was just dogs howling and these fish jumping out of the water around where this light was. Like, we were both like, what the hell? Like, it was just really weird that we were seeing a bunch of fish jump out of the water. This light that was above the lake all of a sudden just shot up and it was gone. It went so fast, it was just like, I saw it shoot up. So it wasn't fast enough that it just disappeared. I saw it shoot up and it went into the sky. And me and my friend just stared, and after it shot up into the sky, everything stopped. The fish stopped jumping, the dogs stopped howling, and me and my friend were just like, what? We looked at each other and we're just like, what just happened? And I was about like 20 years old when this happened. And I don't know how to explain it. Like, this weird orb of light over a lake, the fish jumping, the dogs howling, and then all of a sudden it's shooting into the sky. I don't know what to make of that. I thought it was a star, and as soon as it leaves, everything just stopped. It was so weird. Don't lie, you were abducted. Maybe I was abducted. I don't know. I could have been abducted and not remember the experience, you know? That could have been a thing. But all I remember is seeing this orb of light over the lake, fish jumping, dogs howling, and it just shoots up into the sky and it's gone. And especially to have that experience with somebody else who saw the exact same thing, who experienced the same exact thing, is incredible, because that doesn't happen very often, especially for something like that. We were pretty much the only people there. I don't think anybody else was there. And this lake wasn't a major lake. It was like a very small lake that nobody really went to. It was just kind of a place to just hang out and admire the sunset. So, I don't know, dude. I believe in aliens because, I mean, the universe is way too big not to believe in aliens, okay?